So my 2021 Corolla first video of my head unit is still by all means the most popular video on this channel. So I'm going to go ahead and take some time today to ask some questions that I found in the comments there and other places. All right, y'all, so here's my 2021 Toyota Corolla hatchback XSE model. I got the 6-speed transmission. You guys should know by now, I don't clean my vehicles, so whatever, okay? Maybe in the future. But guys, I want to talk about some things. I've had some questions about this deck and what happens with this deck when you put it in. So the first thing I want to address here is what happens over here. Now, you saw me mention this in the oil change video, but whenever you do this, I do still have my main information over here for my car, okay? But when you go to the music icon, there actually is no display for the information on the stereo. Now, I used a Crux wiring harness from Crutchfield. There are other wiring harnesses out there. Metra, don't use the Metra. Just don't. But there's a company called iDataLink Maestro. iDataLink has harnesses. Some cars you're able to monitor things like the airbags, or if you have like air conditioner controls, put those on stereos, depending on what model vehicle you have. So if that is absolutely necessary for you, check out iDataLink Maestro, see if it has it for this car. The other thing that I have lost is the current fuel mileage thing here. Okay, but I mean, if you come over here, it says it on the gauges. So, I mean, if I'm too lazy to look directly in front of me, do I even need to be driving my car? Now, back to the stereo. Some questions I have about the fitment of this unit. First of all, what is this unit? Forgive me if I don't remember the exact model number off the top of my head. It is a Pioneer. I believe it's a DMH C550 NEX, something like that. There's a 7-inch unit and an 8-inch unit. The brain unit is separate. It does bolt to this display, but the brain is most likely universal between the 7-inch and the 8-inch. I just chose the 8-inch, and the reason being is if you look here, there's a little trim around this. Well, this trim is actually the stereo, okay? And this is the factory piece. I didn't want another piece of trim in here gapping all this. And I don't know what I did there, but we'll undo it. There we go. All right, the next question. This stereo has my car on it. So basically, I just took a thumb drive. I looked up the specs for the size. And you can look, that's just Google this, guys. It'll come up. You can find the head unit. It'll tell you what size the thumbnail or wallpaper, whatever needs to be. You put it on the drive, you upload it to this, and there we go. Instructions are on Pioneer's website. Now, speaking of USB, I am using the factory, where's my camera? There we go. I am using the factory USB for CarPlay. So, CarPlay works perfectly normal with this. Now, here's the thing, okay? People think there's some kind of conception that you're going to lose some normal functionality of your USB due to apparently some people are having problems with factory Toyota head units cutting some of the features out with the USB while driving. Well, no, this is not going to do that. This is aftermarket. This is not proprietary garbage that comes from a factory. You don't have to worry about it. The only thing you have to do to USB into this deck, now I did buy this part from iDataLink. There is a USB adapter, and the only reason I even got that is because of the size and shape of the USB adapter. I just changed it from the Toyota proprietary plug to the USB-A plug that's on the back of these. No, these have not been updated to C. These are USB-A, regular rectangular USB, just like down there. Now, the next question I get, what other radios will fit in this dash? Well, okay, so there are some decent head units that will fit this dash, but there's a catch to that, okay? So other than these two head units, you can use a floating screen. To use a floating screen, there's a single DIN, and you can get a multi-kit from Metro that has all these pieces in it. Now in that multi-kit, if you use that, you can use one of those floating screen head units. Now, keep in mind, a lot of your Android floating screens that I've seen don't detach from the head unit. So you might want to think about that when you're trying to attach it to the dashboard, because unless you just have certain dashboards that you don't need access behind, that's not going to work out for you. And by the way, don't put an Android header unit in these cars. You're just going to be pulling it back out when it fails anyway. Next thing, you can have a single DIN head unit in this car. Now, if you put a regular single DIN head unit in this car, you're going to lose your backup cam, which obviously I have on mine now. It does look a little bit right now. It's just fogged up and dirty. Honestly, that's the only thing that's wrong with it. But you are going to lose your backup cam if you use a traditional single DIN. However, if you can find like an Alpine or a Pioneer or Kenwood old school flip out, if you can find one that has a reverse trigger on it and the reverse RCA cord, you can use that and retain your reverse. Now, the next question I get is, oh, can you watch DVDs on that going down the road? Hey kids, do you like jail? Do you like ambulances? Do you like hospitals? Do you like hearses? Do you like morgues? Look, you don't need to be watching videos and driving. It's as simple as that. Don't kill yourself because you wanted to do something stupid. All right, next question I get is, what all features do we get with this? This has an HD radio, Bluetooth inputs, Pandora radio capability, iPod capability, Sirius XM with a tuner. You can use the factory tuner with the antenna adapter and an aftermarket unit, which I do have, but I don't use it because the sound is much cleaner through the XM app. And an aux input. Now, my car doesn't have anywhere for an aux. I don't use aux for anything whatsoever. And of course, I don't see any point in drilling a hole in a car. We have camera view. Basically, you can set these up and wire them to where you can view the camera at any time. You can reverse it, etc. Y'all can play with that. You can turn the source off, or you can turn the power off. Now, you notice it doesn't say anything about CarPlay right now. It's because, well, my phone's in my hand and it's not plugged in. I don't think that's going to work if we plug it in while we are recording. Let's just go ahead and try that for argument's sake, just in case I generated that question by doing this video. Yes, it does. All right, so I have mine in split view. You do not need to see that. Oh, yeah. It's not going to work with me talking to you guys. All right, so that's it for this little Q&A type session here. Hope you all found out some information you were needing to find out about putting a deck in these kinds of cars. If you have one, I encourage you to try it. Just make sure you disconnect your battery the whole time, please. And make sure you do not try anything with your hazard lights, airbags, anything like that unplugged. If you do, you're probably going to have to take the car to the dealer. Okay, don't make yourself get into the situation where you have to reset all that. Don't just rely on me. Do all of your research, guys. I'm not the expert on these cars by all means, but I have done the work. I'm just giving you guys my experience. So hopefully I've given you guys the encouragement and the knowledge you need to do what you need to do to get a radio on yours. Guys, thanks for watching Ostentatious. I hope you guys have a great week. Please like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you got to do with that bell there. Hey guys, share this with people. Let them know I'm out there. Guys, throw a comment in the comments, guys. Let me know what you think of things. Appreciate everybody. Have a great week. Thanks for watching Ostentatious.